All right, good morning. It's 7 a.m. Coffee with Shanda, and I want to talk to you about tracking what you want to see grow. So, quick story before we jump into some quick training this morning. This is a great way to start your day off right so that as excuse me, as an entrepreneur, you want to wire your mind in the morning so that you get the best results and the most productivity throughout the day so that at the end of your day you can actually stop and go and rest and turn this brain off. So I want to talk to you about tracking. And I think it's something that is highly unutilized as far as, using what's available to you to be able to grow a business, be able to actually track even things that you want to grow in your life as far as even fun things. And this has been a secret of mine that I've shared with lots of my clients. It's so funny how you can talk about this for literally 4 years and then somebody will be like, oh my God, I just did that tracking thing, and boom, all of a sudden things start to work. So you could either be the person who does it the hard way and listens to this a year from now when I repeat it, or you could actually try it today. So I have a client who is volunteering a ton. If you know anything about me, I can tell you that one of the quickest ways to be able to unleash your productivity, unleash your money, unleash your fulfillment, your happiness, your joy, to get unhooked from overwhelm is actually to give. So this isn't about giving today, but she is following that protocol. In fact, she made more money this month being out of the office, out of her workflow for 2 weeks out of the month, out of last month. She was out for 2 weeks and she made more money in a month than she's ever made in her entire life. So I just want to just propose to you this idea that some people think that you can overgive. No, 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 no. If you're actually truly giving, I don't mean like you've got a client and you're overgiving to them. That's awesome. I just actually think that's good business. But if you're actually giving in an area, like you're going down and you're, let's say, volunteering at the local, food shelter, or you're volunteering for like human trafficking. Let's be honest. Typically when we volunteer, it's in small chunks. I mean, it's in small chunks, or, you'll get a feed the children thing in the mail and you'll write, a $20 check and send it off. And but then you don't even like take that in as far as like what that $20 is actually really doing. I share this because I think this is human nature. We give in these little areas, but we don't actually allow the receiving to come back in. And we also don't realize what we're actually doing when we give. Now, what if you actually made it a number one strategy in your life to give without any sort of need for expectation? So that's as far as I'm going to go on that. I have a client doing that right now. I have lots of clients doing this, but I have a client that's probably doing it better than anybody else inside of our community. Her name's Julie Surratt. And she is volunteering right now nonstop. She is, doing really well in her business. And, it wasn't too long ago where she was in a really challenging spot financially. And so she could be in the mindset of like, I got to get, I got to get my business online. I got to get all that. And that would have worked, but it would have been painful. And sometimes you work so hard, you almost resent working. That's a product of even giving to your job, your career, your company in a way that is it's sacrificial. And there's good sacrificial, and then there's like resentment, like you don't even want to give, but you're doing it because you have to. So follow me here. So she's been giving like this. 2 weeks out of last month, she was, literally volunteering, and she was still able to have, an $80,000 month, which is great. So she's got great cash that came in the door while she was out of work 50% of the time. Now, one of the things she said is sometimes when I have a moment of exhaustion, right? Like a moment where, because she's putting in some long hours in volunteering, of exhaustion, I think about you, Shanda. And I was like, that's so awesome. I appreciate those words, but that's really not what's important. I don't want you to push through, like sometimes you got to push because I don't want to it's not like you never push, but at some point you do want to stop pushing and you want to be pulled forward. And I said, how much, I call it flex time, which is time off. How much flex time are you taking? And she goes, Well, I mean, it's there, right? But I said, are you tracking it? Are you tracking your flex time? So I'm going to give you the same coaching that I gave her. I literally told her that to put, a wall size post-it. I'm all big on the wall size post-its up on the wall because I like stupid simple in my life. Like I like just really simple, like honestly, you guys all know I'm using Brendan Burchard's agenda right now. Last night I took everything off my online calendar that my executive assistant, is connected to, and I put it all in my day today, right? So my day today is all set up, including there are two content pieces today that I am spending an hour and a half and an hour. So I've got 2.5 hours of actual content creating, trainings, things like that are not connected with anybody else right now. They're just connected with me creating something in my calendar. So I have like chunks of time that honestly could become unproductive if I'm not grounded. Have you ever created a chunk of time in your day and it doesn't happen? Like, either emails get in or, people are calling you or the dog gets sick. It's like when you have open time to work, it's very common that open time gets sucked away with something that needs your attention that you have to react to. So I want to get you out of all reaction, which means that I want to get you into obsessing about tracking. So my client I want to make sure my client doesn't burn out. So I want her to track her flex time. If she tracks her flex time, she can realize that if she has a moment of tiredness or a moment of exhaustion, right, from working long hours and volunteering long hours, if she has that moment, she can look on her tracking board and say, well, the truth is I had 6 really fun days this month. And maybe the month before she had time off, but she didn't optimize it with fun, which fills you up more. And so you can look at your tracking board and you can see whatever you want to grow. So say you want to be more productive. Say you tend to get through the day and you're like, I worked, but really nothing really happened. Like there was nothing to produce at the end of the day other than I worked my ass off, but I didn't create the intended result. So for instance, the intended result could be maybe you want to make money today. Well, if you get to the end of today and you don't make money, you actually did not prioritize your activities in the day to create that result. You somehow, the way you planned your calendar or the way you planned your time, the way what you committed to in the day was not, I have a little buggy flying around, was not in alignment with your intention. And this happens all the time. I would love to hear from you right now. Do you, this flies like flying around. Do you really plan your day, or are you reacting to your day? So that's the first question that I have. So I'd love you right now to just comment. Do you plan? Are you a planner? Like, do you plan every day? And is it in alignment with your daily intention? So when you get to the end of the day, do you 90% of the time have that result? This can be an aha moment because sometimes you're working really hard and you don't realize why you're not getting ahead. And I promise you, it's not anything but your own fault. It's like, Larry Winget, I love how he says, your success is your own damn fault. And so is your failure. And so I realized one day that there was never going to be somebody on a white horse that was going to fly in or ride in and do all my marketing for me, or do my webinars for me, or, be a mom for me. Nobody was going to come in and hack my life and get me my results. I also realized that there's not any amount of money that I can throw at somebody to do anything in business for me. All the strategy has to come out from pouring out of me for anything to work in the first place. So for instance, if you hire somebody to do an online challenge for you, my goodness, or you hire somebody to figure out your messaging for you, all of that's being tapped out of you. And if your intention is not clear and what your activity in the day is not connected to the intention, and they're not exactly in partnership, then you're going to find that you're going to spin. And you're going to find that, you find yourself in these reactional modes that feel like overwhelmed or feel like not being productive. And then that just ripples into the people that are around you. They get contaminated with your ickiness. And so you have to look at, and this is the easiest way that I know how, is to look at, like, I know there might be things on your calendar right now that you feel like you have to do. Like maybe the house drives you nuts if it's dirty. That's my thing. So, there was a time when I had my son that there was no keeping everything clean by the end of the day, right? Like all his toys would go in one area and then they would all be pulled out. And although he's amazing and he does Montessori and he puts his toys away now at 3, which is awesome, there was a time that he didn't do that. And I hate the house messy. And so it used to throw me into this feeling of restlessness. Like Alison Armstrong, who is an incredible relationship coach, says that women have diffuse awareness, which means that I can see over there right now. I can see the plant right there. I can see the window. I can see everything when I'm even looking at you, right? And so that means that these things call us in the space if you're a woman, right? If you're a man, you have a single focus and you have the ability to walk right past the sock and not pick it up and not even see it. Where the woman is like, why could you just pick that up? So I share this with you because I had to let that go. I had to let go of ultimately feeling incredibly good for a season of my life. And I had to move myself into an area of the house or an area of the community before I had an office or anything like that, so that I could work. I had to get uncomfortable and break my regular routine. Boo-hoo, right? Like that's another place that we get all antsy about. Like, I want it like this, I need it like that. Well, you know what? You are not going to grow a company like that, because every time I get comfortable in my routine, it changes. The company grows. And every time the company grows for you, you cash in one set of problems for another. So if you are a bitch inside, or you're an asshole inside of breakdown, inside of your changed routine, then honestly, you really should not be an entrepreneur. You should go find a company that is not growing much, that is going to pay you a good salary in an area that you love. Because if you go into a company that's growing a lot, you're going to find uncertainty again. You're going to find change in patterns, change in routine. So back to my point for today, what I want you to do is I just want you to track whatever it is that you want to grow. So if you want your relationship to have more fun in it, put up a wall-size Post-it on the wall and you own it. Don't make anybody else own it unless they're in agreement to do that, right? Like you don't get to push your beliefs on other people. You get to realize if you want more joy in your relationship, that you create it, but track it, right? And then secondly, if you want your money to grow, then literally put that up on the board and then track the activities you do every single day. How many of them directly connect to making money? Like directly, not like please don't work on your freaking websites and think that's going to make you money. It's not. Websites do not make you money. Okay. Now optimized, pages make you money. Doing a webinar can make you money. Doing a live like this and then making an offer can make you money. Literally cold calling people can make you money. Emailing your email list can make you money. Doing 3 or 4 days of just giving and then giving around a certain topic. If you want to influence a certain topic that you have a solution to, then you could spend 3 days breaking up mini trainings, 10, 15-minute trainings that you put out. Like it's better if you can put it out to your email list because you own that audience. But if you could do your email list and social media, that would be phenomenal. And you literally put out 3 mini trainings, that I would be considering as an activity of making money, as long as at some point on 3 or 4 days, you're going to make an offer. You get what I'm saying? So track it. So don't just say, I want to make money. and then go, okay, did I do anything to make money? No. Get hyper-focused on tracking the activity that you do each day that actually equates to immediate money. And when I would say immediate money, I would say, the next hour to the next 3 days. Okay, that's what I would consider immediate money. Okay, the next hour to the next 3 days. Track it. And you might go, I don't know what else to do. This brain is an incredible computer. And I promise you, you don't know how to use it all because you don't go deep enough in your brain. And so if you ever run into a wall like, I don't know what to do, that is a sign that you're not sitting in brainstorm, in possibility, in your, like, whatever you have to do to get your brain primed to believe that, well, maybe there's an idea. Maybe there's an idea of an activity I haven't thought of that would make money. Maybe that, and I taught, like, what if I did this? And the what ifs are powerful. So maybe it can be a gateway language for your brain to open up to start thinking about new ideas. And then what if becomes an activity. So maybe, so you run into it, you got your tracking board up on the wall, whatever it is that you want to grow, relationship, your money, your fun time, your vacation time. You could even track how much fun you have on flex time. Like on flex time, do you just have a day off and you do nothing? But like, I'm kind of bored. And then you end up back on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or, whatever, blogging, writing things, like, you know what I mean? Like, so trust me, your brain will fill up some activities in the day if you don't plan something. So I want you to start scripting out your success. And so here's my question to you. What are you going to do with this live this morning? What are you going to do with this 7 a.m. coffee with Shanda? What are you going to do? What are you going to track? You're still listening at this point. What are you going to track? And so make a commitment that you track that starting today. If you don't have a wall size Post-it, I don't care if you use a broken envelope or if you take a printer paper from your printer, write what you're going to track, set your intention, and track it today. And I guarantee you, if you do that for literally the next 30 days, your life, whatever it is you're tracking, is going to be much further ahead than it is today. The challenge is that people don't track their success. And because they don't track their success, they're moving in this direction with the intention of like inspiration. You get excited about something, you start moving that direction. Sometimes the next hour you've forgotten about that thing that you committed to. So if you want the commitment and you want to be a good finisher, start tracking whatever it is that you want to win. Now, just a word of advice before I tune out for today. I actually recommend that at first you do not track more than one thing. Give yourself 30 days. So take the biggest priority that's the most important to you right now and put it up. And please, for God's sakes, pick love over anything else. If you've got a breakdown in your love life, it really does feed into every other area of your life. So you've been okay up until this point financially, even if it's hard, right? You've been okay. And so I'm just going to say, fix the relationships in your life and then go after the other stuff. Because I'm going to tell you that it really does make a big difference. It really does. It unleashes energy that you didn't even know was bottled up. All right. So that's it. I will see you at 7 a.m. Coffee with Shanda tomorrow morning. Here's to you tracking something that you really, really want badly and you want to see it grow. All right, you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.